Welcome back. We continue our open question series with a quandary facing cities in this country. Can they safely open back up, even as their states may be scaling back restrictions? Take Birmingham, Alabama. While Alabama Governor Kay Ivey's new statewide guidance went into place last night, relaxing some stay-at-home restrictions and allowing retail and other businesses to reopen under social distancing guidelines, the city of Birmingham is keeping up their own restrictions, including a nightly curfew and a new order in effect today that residents must wear masks when they're out in public. Joining me now is the mayor of Birmingham, Alabama, Mayor Randall Woodfin. And one of the things I've learned about Alabama is that I believe your county, Jefferson County, and Mobile County, you don't necessarily, you operate under your own orders on this. The governor's orders would not supersede in this case. So you constitutionally call your own shots here over and above the state. Is that correct, Mr. Mayor?
That's correct, Chuck. I think it's important that as elected officials, whether it's mayors, county commissioners, or governors, as elected officials, we should shut up and do more listening. And we should be listening to our health experts and those in the medical field in our local areas when they make suggestions to us as it relates to still being in this pandemic and health crisis. We should follow them and take their recommendation.
You're 6 weeks into this. What do you feel like you've learned about this virus, what you've learned about the balance between life and livelihoods?
We are in the middle of two crises. We have a health crisis and an economic crisis. And as it relates to the health crisis, there's still a lot we need to know around data around the number of symptoms, cases, hospitalization, as well as testing availability and tracking. Of those 5 things here at the local level, the only thing that is satisfactory is hospitalization. But there's so much more to learn as it relates to making a data-driven decision around hospital tracking and tracing. And so we still have a lot more to learn. But what I can tell you in the economic crisis, there's a lot of resilience here and innovation for how our small business owners have found unique ways to engage their customers to make sure, even if majority of businesses were closed, for those who had to open up and engage their customers in a different way, they found a way to continue to thrive. And so I'm happy for the resilience here at the local level here in Birmingham.
You issued the order that everybody has to wear masks in public. What do you want to see next before you decide how much of the business community you allow to open up?
And so I think it's very important, again, as an elected official, continue to listen to the health experts. You know, the White House made a recommendation to all the mayors across the nation, all the county commissioners across the nation, and all the governors across the nation, what's satisfying the gate before you talked about phase 1. And so we have this new order in place that talks about wearing face covers because we have not satisfied all of those requirements from a health standpoint. And so the things I would like to see is more data on continuing to see cases go down, more data on tracking and tracing, and more testing available to make sure we're in a position from a data-driven standpoint to look our residents in the face and say it is safe to go out. It's safe not to be 6 feet apart. It's safe not to wear face coverings. Right. Until we have that information, we're in no position to say those things.
How concerned are you about your city's finances, and what are some of the bad choices that you fear you're going to have to make soon?
Well, listen, like many cities across the nation, we have a heavy dependence on sales tax, use tax, lodging taxes, and occupational taxes. And all of these things have taken a major hit over the last 6-7 weeks, while a lot of these businesses have had to be shut down. And so, you know, my number one priority is to keep all of our city employees employed. But tough decisions will have to be made. I just have to find a balance on how we make these decisions on delivering services and other issues we have to make. But I am confident working with our council, we'll find unique creative ways to strike the balance of keeping our employees employed, as well as continuing to deliver city services the way we know how to.
When do you expect Birmingham to be fully open?
You know, that's a great question. I can tell you, as having the most populated county, Birmingham being in Jefferson County, the biggest city in the state,
right.
Largest county in the state, but you have 1 out of 5 people who are over the age of 60. When you have a high African American population, and unfortunately, when you have so many people with pre-existing underlying health conditions, I am not sure
right.
when we open, based on not having the data to track and address to show
right.
our residents who are most vulnerable is safe now. I am hoping we continue to drive the point home that we need our health officers and our health experts to continue to make wise decisions, and we'll listen to those decisions. So we're not necessarily waiting on a date as much more as we're waiting on data to provide to our residents that is safe.
Yep. Mayor Randall Woodfin, you've made one thing clear. Data. It's as fundamental as anything right now in this crisis, and that you can't make any of these decisions without a better understanding of where this virus is, where it's headed. Anyway, you made it very strongly. Mr. Mayor, thanks for coming on and sharing your views with us. I appreciate it.
Chuck, thank you for having me.
You got it.